Moving on to our repositioning strategies to correct that flat area on your baby's head. Most of the strategies that we're going to discuss today involve counter pressure. If we think back to that head shape and the shift that we saw with the pressure on the back of the head, counter pressure is applying pressure to the non-flat side to direct growth of the head.
In this image, we can see a flat area on the back left side of the head. If we apply counter pressure to the back right side, then we can promote roundness in that back left area. Looking back at some of the examples from chapter 1, we can see a flat area on the back right side of this little one's head shape. If we apply consistent counter pressure to the back left side, we can promote roundness in that back right area and the left forehead region. With this little one, we see flatness in the back left side of the head and flattening through that right side of the forehead. If we are able to apply counter pressure to the back right side of the head, we can promote roundness through that back left area as well as the right side of the forehead. For brachycephalic head shapes, we want to apply counter pressure to both sides of the head through alternate side laying in order to promote roundness of the back of the head.
Often, it seems like these flat areas develop overnight. I have countless moms and dads coming to me saying, I don't know what happened. I feel like I woke up one day and that flat area was there. In the first 6 to 8 weeks of life, your baby's skull is super soft and very susceptible to pressure. With the Back to Sleep campaign, our babies are on their backs far more than ever before. This has been very important and effective at reducing the incidence of SIDS, which has gone down 40% since the onset of the Back to Sleep program in the mid-1990s. However, we have also seen a 5-fold increase in the incidence rates of plagiocephaly or flat head concerns in babies. One recent study in Calgary in 2013 actually looked at babies between the ages of 7 and 12 weeks of age and found that nearly 50% of babies in that age bracket had a flat area on their head. It is very common and it happens very quickly. Unfortunately, correcting it doesn't feel so fast. The strategies that we will discuss for counter pressure require a lot of effort on your part, doing them consistently multiple times a day to try and get enough counter pressure on that non-flat side to direct the growth into that flat area. Because it does take weeks and even months to correct your baby's head shape through repositioning, I do recommend that you take a set of photos after the next bath time when your baby's hair is wet and flat against their head. Take a set of photos from the top down, that bird's eye view, both profiles, front and back. That way you can compare in a month how much progress you are seeing. It's so hard when you see your baby every day and you're looking for those changes to appreciate the changes as the head shape starts to correct. Those pictures will definitely come in handy.
Okay, so our first and most important position for achieving counter pressure during play is side lying. I need to stress that this position is only to be used for awake playtime. We will discuss what you can do during sleep in a little bit. When your baby is awake, the best way to do side lying is with a big pillow or rolled up towel or blanket behind your baby's back. I even like to buttress it up against the front of the couch or a wall so that there's something nice and firm holding it in place, because although your baby may be small, they are mighty, as I'm sure you're well aware, and they can squirm and easily get away from that roll if it's not firmly supported. You can even use a smaller rolled up towel or blanket to put in front of their tummy to just help wedge them on their side when we are using that side-lying position for counter-pressure during play.
You may come across positioning wedges that you can buy to help position your baby in side-lying. Although these are often marketed for sleep, they are only recommended to be used during awake playtime.
Now, a couple of key points when you do position your baby on their side: make sure that bottom shoulder is pulled forward slightly so that your baby is rolled just ever so slightly towards their back so that they're not straight up and down on their shoulder, so we don't get too much compression of the shoulder joint. In an ideal world, we'd be able to see that bottom ear and have them looking slightly up towards us. Babies will move though, they won't stay in one direction. So the key is just to make sure that the pressure is being achieved on that non-flat side and the pressure is off of their flat area. Now, when it comes to counter pressure, the more firm the pressure, the better. Some people will recommend doing side lying right on a hard floor with a very thin blanket. However, I find babies often don't tolerate that degree of hardness very well. So what you can do as an alternative is to use a simple thin hardcover book and slide it underneath your blanket. Lift up your baby's head as you slide it under. So that hardcover book goes just underneath their head. So the body is nice and supported on the soft surface, but we get some firm counter pressure directly underneath their head. Your goal is to have your baby play in side lying every time they are awake for as long as they will tolerate, ideally achieving a daily total of at least 60 minutes of side lying play. Now, in order to help your baby enjoy this position, you want to have an arsenal of toys ready to distract them if they are old enough to show interest in toys. If your baby is younger, one of the best things that you can do is lay down beside them face to face, as your face is one of the most entertaining things for them, and they'll be able to focus on the contrast in your face. Otherwise, a high contrast black and white patterned object works fantastic. If you prop it up in front of them so that your baby can look at it while they are laying on their side. You can use the play gyms with the toys that cross above. Just clip the toys down to their lowest rungs so that they're in a position where your baby can see them in front of them, and as they start to show more interest in toys, they can reach and bat at them. It's a great way for them to start to develop hand-eye coordination as their hands come right into their line of sight, and it also helps them develop control in the midline of their body. The last position that I'd like to show you for awake time to achieve counter pressure is an accordion carry, or what I call an accordion carry, where your baby's head is laying against your forearm, your other arm is scooping them through, you're allowing their lower part of their tummy and trunk to kind of sag down, hence the accordion name. And this allows you to position your baby really nicely to walk around the house while getting counter pressure on that side of the head that is not flat. So if your baby's flat area is on the right side of their head, you would have the left side of their head against your arm. If the flat side is on the left side, the right side of their head would be against your arm. If you would like further assistance in using counter pressure to help correct a flat area on your baby's head shape, infant physiotherapists are available at Milestones Physical Therapy Services, Lakeview Physiotherapy and Acupuncture, Calgary Youth Physiotherapy, and Vita Health and Wellness. Due to COVID-19, all of these providers are currently offering virtual therapy assessment and treatment via telehealth.
Thanks for tuning in, and be sure to stay tuned for Chapter 4, where we will discuss strategies to help make tummy time easier.